You're going to have such a nice and quite happy surprise when it comes to the beginning of this week, but it's just a lot to do with like a little opportunity. It's not massive, it's not huge, but it's something to do with what you're excellent at. It's something to do with what comes to you naturally, and it's also kind of like you love doing this because it helps you to express yourself in the best possible way. So this means that this is a lot to do with you doing something that you're so passionate about, which is absolutely brilliant, and it's always a way to go. There is like a very specific reason why we are good at something, why some of us are good at something, some of us are good at different things, some of us are good at certain things, some of us are really bad at certain things, so it really depends from person to person, but it's a lot to do with our own individuality, with our karma, with our spirit. So it's never good to ignore the things that we are passionate about, so it's a lot to do with something that comes to you naturally that you haven't done in a long time, but you are gonna feel really surprised. How come that you are feeling like that about that stage of your life? How come that you are slowly but surely returning to the certain point and the certain stage in your life? This is why, because you have left a very kind of precious and sacred part of you in the past. A lot has been happening and going on in your life within the last few years. So now this is the time and this is the moment when one phase is coming to an end and another phase is about to begin, and even more so, you have learned an absolutely invaluable lesson because you've been going through something very painful and very difficult lately, and that in itself, I know it sounds harsh, but was preparing you for this moment in time. It was making you much wiser, it was making you much more clever. It is to do with like a really mind-blowing experience indeed. So the bottom line is that you are going to have this really happy surprise, my gorgeous Gemini, and this happy surprise that you are going to have, it's going to come in a little creative opportunity, and this is you at the same time taking a part of yourself back from the past. Very important indeed, okay? And that in itself, it's not only about how creative you are going to feel, how happy you are going to feel, but at the same time, this is, you are gonna like kind of start thinking about it quite a lot, and you are gonna kind of really start doing things, when it comes to that creative opportunity. For example, not as such, but it's more like about start thinking about it quite intensely and realizing and recognizing how much your soul needs this, how much your spirit needs this. It's almost going to be like the moment of like a self rediscovery. I mean, I wouldn't say discovery, but I would say rediscovery, because it's to do with an element of your life that now suddenly is calling you in like the biggest mama in the world. And as soon as you start thinking about it, you're already gonna realize all sorts of realizations, all sorts of ideas. But there is one idea that is gonna be absolutely so big and so enormous in compared to all the rest of the ideas, So one particular idea that you are going to have, it's gonna be, there are gonna be lots of little ideas, but one is gonna be like, oh my God, one is gonna be something that you will know, this is gonna be the most difficult, this is gonna be the hardest, this is gonna take the longest, but then again, you will know that this is the way to go, this is the way to be. And this is so important because at the same time, that particular idea that you are going to have, it's not only gonna bring a mental clarity to you with what you're gonna do, but it's also gonna bring a fantastic success into your life in as little as 1 year, and it's also going to bring such a powerful breakthrough. Very important indeed. And at the same time, it's like basically going to be so important for your balance. So this is so, listen, this at this stage of your life is really important for your own balance, because once you take this idea seriously, which you are, listen to me very carefully. I don't want this to sound too confusing. It's to do with few little ideas that you're going to have, but one of them is going to be like really giant, and it's going to be obvious what this is. This is going to bring much needed balance into your life, because as soon as you start thinking about it, there is a lot that is going to come to you naturally, and one thing is literally going to lead into another. There is so much that you're actually going to realize about yourself and about your life, and every step, each step, you're going to become more stronger, and more courageous and more like a kind of confident, when it comes to your life in general. And I'm saying you've been through so much, and this is such an important stage for you. It's bringing a balance into your life, especially after you've dealt, as I said before, with some kind of painful ending. Very, very painful ending. Something has come to an end, and it has affected you more than you kind of thought that it's actually going to affect you. Whether this is to do with the personal life, whether this is to do with a certain person, or whether this is to do with a certain stage of your life, it doesn't really matter. It is all ever so important when it comes to your personal progress, when it comes to your spirit, and when it comes to your spiritual journey, and when it comes to your karma as well. And also, my gorgeous Gemini, at around the beginning of this week, something really unexpected is going to happen. Something unexpected is going to happen. It's to do with a challenge that you've been dealing for a while. And there is this man who is really going to inspire you. This really wonderful man is going to inspire you. You will not know how this person is going to inspire you, but it's just more about knowing what the right thing is to do and knowing the power of the first move. And once you make the first move, there is no way back anymore. But then again, just to have this power and this essence of feeling so strong and powerful in order to make the first move, it's to do with a specific challenge here, like, oh my God. It is to do with a specific challenge that you've been dealing for such a long time, my gorgeous Gemini. It's to do with a specific challenge that you've been dealing with such a long time, and it affected you so badly. And this challenge was affecting your confidence, and you didn't even realize that you were questioning yourself too much when you were making certain decisions that were really big. Instead of you kind of going with these decisions that you make, maybe you just needed a little bit too much of other people are kind of like confirming things for you. And this is dangerous, because this is the time when we start like kind of losing ourselves due to something that happened to us in our past that is actually affecting us on this spiritual journey by the way we respond. You see, like almost as if we lose a trust in ourselves, okay? So this is going to really put you back on the ground, my gorgeous Gemini. This is so important when it comes to your own strength. So you are going to realize just completely out of the blue, it's just really bizarre how this is actually going to happen, but this man is going to have a really fantastic impact on you. This man you're going to look at, this man you're going to watch, this man you're going to come across, somebody who is absolutely a natural leader, somebody who's very intelligent, somebody who's very clever, and somebody who's not afraid of being themselves, and somebody who really doesn't care what other people think as well, what that person is doing. For example, you either love this person, or you either really dislike this person. You either understand this person, or you either don't understand this person. But it's just about the energy and the connection that you're going to feel when it comes to that person that is going to really inspire you to deal with this challenge. And this is all going to happen completely out of the blue, and you're going to feel so surprised, like where this is coming from, like how come I feel so like, oh my God, so strong about it, how come I feel so adamant about it. This is really going to bring this like awake a natural leader within you. This is going to not only help you to overcome a really big challenge, really big problem. You will know what to do, but you will be able to see the bigger picture. And at the same time, you are at the same time sorry this is going to I'm sorry. This is going to help you, my gorgeous Gemini. This is going to help you to see the bigger picture. And once you see the bigger picture, you're also going to make a very, very interesting discovery. Just a couple of days later, you are going to make a very interesting discovery. And at around the time when you make a really interesting discovery, this is not only like kind of going to inspire you, but at the same time, there is going to be a really good omen around it. Almost immediately, there is going to be such an powerful omen sign around it that you will know that this is something that, oh my God, this is something that you need to do. This is something that it's really kind of going to be so interesting to you, and you're going to love this because you're going to realize as well different things about yourself and about different aspects of your life. What is going to happen to you here? You're going to discover something which is going to like kind of change your view on things. You're going to start seeing things in life in general in a completely different light. I can tell you that this is going to be like a very unusual but really powerful spiritual experience in itself, because after that moment in time, and nothing is going to be the same ever again. But this is in the best possible way, especially when it comes to your energy. For example, energy levels are going to shot up like there is no tomorrow. So at the same time, you are also, what are you going to discover? It's going to inspire you so much, like a huge inspiration, like, oh my God. But at the same time, there is also going to be a really good omen. So this is going to be double whammy as a sign for you to kind of go for it. By the time you get to the mid part of this week, it's like basically, this is brilliant. It's in between you and somebody else. You're going to feel very strong connection with somebody else. Like not necessarily like, hello, darling, but it could be like anybody. This could be absolutely anybody. So you're going to feel very strong connection with somebody here. Maybe it could even be your friend. Maybe it could even be like a family member. It's going to be, maybe it could even be like a partner when I said, connection, and maybe it's going to be for the first time connection, but no, anyway. So around the midweek, you're going to feel very strong connection when it comes to one specific person in your life. And that strong connection, it's also going to happen at a time when you are going to be discussing something, and it's to do with some kind of preparation, some kind of ideas you're going to have, but it's really a lot to do with some kind of preparation. You're going to be discussing something about with someone, and that particular person you are having a very strong connection with, but in general. But now you're gonna feel a very strong connection even more, even further. And this particular person is such an important person in your life, because it's going to help you to open your eyes and realize that you're worrying about something too much. You must not worry about things too much, because it's going to take away and steal your own happiness. It's going to take your life over, and you don't want that. You don't want your life to be taken over by sadness and negativity. So this person is going to play a major role when it comes to you opening your eyes, releasing worry, realizing that you need to release worry and stop worrying, because stop stressing out, because this is going to be causing like you to have a lack of energy and lack of passion, and this is a big no-no. And this is brilliant, because now after this moment in time, you are gonna get back on track by being your old self. This is so important, this shaky moment that you are going to have such a fantastic wake-up call, because after this moment in time, you're going to become like action orientated. You're going to become driven to succeed, and you're also going to kind of understand the power of you being yourself. The more different and unique you are, the more powerful and the more you are going to get on the spiritual journey. But the bottom line is that after this moment in time, you are going to become very ambitious, action orientated, driven to succeed, and you're also going to have this too fast thinking, so it's brilliant to like kind of deal with a certain problems. It's like when you are having a fast thinking mode, then it's always the best to like kind of like a deal with a certain subject that you really don't know what to do about, or with the problems that were kind of part of your life for a while now, and see how quickly you're going to be like, oh my God, where's this coming from? Do you know what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. By the time you get to the last part of this week, you are going to feel like so like a nostalgic. One particular person is going to start this up, or start this off. Start this off. One particular person it's like a blast from the past. You're gonna hear something about somebody from absolute ages ago, and this is gonna be like, oh wow, okay. And then that particular person is going to start this chain reaction, and you're gonna start thinking about people from your past, and it's not bad thing. It's a lot about nostalgia, thinking about your past suddenly, thinking about your memories, but thinking about your memories. But at the same time, now suddenly this in itself, it's actually going to realize, I know it's going to sound crazy, but you're going to realize that that particular Okay, anyway, so you're gonna be that particular person that maybe it's like something to do with a Scorpio, probably has got like a Scorpio in their sign, perhaps, or maybe ascendant, or maybe a moon, or maybe lots of planets are in Scorpio, or maybe that particular person who you are going to remember, maybe that particular person has the energy like a Scorpio, similar to a Scorpio. Maybe even if it's not a Scorpio, maybe it's like a mysterious and unusual person, you know, it's something like that, or that person has got something to do with a Scorpio, by the way. But yet, so you are going to realize somehow how to, now suddenly you're going to be thinking about your past, but then you're going to realize what are you doing wrong with your money and with your finances. I know it sounds crazy, but you're going to suddenly realize how to save the money through your past. So an insight from the so a reflection on the past, it's going to bring you an insight into your current situation, but it's to do with how to save the money, which is also, but it's not only that, but there are certain things in your past that you are going to be able to connect and reconnect to again. And this is when things are going to start becoming interesting, because you're going to realize more things that are actually missing in your life. Okay, so this in itself, it's going to open your eyes, and it's going to put you in a mode of contemplation and reevaluation. And this is so important, because you are kind of going to realize, so it's not only to do with like how to save money, but there are also a couple of other things that you're going to realize that you are missing, and you used to do this in your past. This is so important. Oh my God, you need to understand. Sometimes, as I said before, we leave certain things in the past and we deal with them later when we are ready. Now you're ready, because this in itself is going to be super important when it comes to your healing, when it comes to you feeling calm, when it comes to you feeling nurtured, when it comes to you feeling, you know, emotionally stable. This is bringing an emotional stability into your life, which is ever so important. Okay, my gorgeous Gemini, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.